Today, from Seattle, Washington, it's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals.
With Mount Rainier in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a first-round pick back in April's draft.
And we're talking about a young man who's been the talk of the NFL here in September. Came in and looked right at home. His team's 2-0. He's playing well. What's the big thing for him now, though? Not to become complacent. And I think the coaching staff has been working on exactly that.
First carry for James Conner. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Second and a couple. Looking to throw. Going for the deep ball. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Reek Rowland. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The numbers for him from a week ago. 17 carries, 53 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
And try to find Jackson Smith and Jigba. And it's 3rd down. You look at this Arizona defense. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards. But instead, offense out there. They're going for it. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. Pass taken in by his big tight end. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. And now a handoff to Charbonnet. And out of bounds right around the 20. Well, this defense for the Cardinals, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
Oh, and that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Out of the gun, a give to Charbonnet. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
2nd down, here's Charbonnet. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Darnold. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Cooper Kupp, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, "Let's go, big boy. You're still our leader."
Ernest Jones there for the tackle. They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. They're going to look to throw. A short one here, caught by McBride. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. On 3rd down, they'll try and pick it up with a counter. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. That goes for 14 yards, 1st down Cardinals. Those are the types of run, Charles, that they say this first-year running back can provide a lot more of in the future.
He made it look easy, didn't he? Picking up that 1st down. Some have described him as a diamond in the rough with a lot of polish, a nice little buffing. This guy could be one of the top backs going forward.
From the 46, here's the 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The Cardinals hit 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
A first down throw, Darnold. Open man is Barner, the tight end. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And they'll send Kupp in motion right. On 2nd down, Darnold. Now that'll be caught by Kupp. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
That is incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. With the football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. You talk about this Seahawks defense. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
When they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league. So
a fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. A huge play there for Arizona. 51 yards. One of the good things about throwing it in his direction, he usually has the size advantage on those 2-man catches.
And what I like about his game is that he carries himself at his full height. He understands it's an advantage and uses it at every opportunity.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now 2nd and 5. Snap will come from the 6. They run behind center with Conner. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. James Conner with career touchdown number 70. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They'll begin here with a run with Charbonnet. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
And Charbonnet once again. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. And from the gun, here's a handoff to Charbonnet. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Now it's Darnold. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards. On the give, here's Charbonnet. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. He'll get that to Charbonnet. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Zach Charbonnet, his 1st rushing touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks are once again back in front. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 14-10. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drives. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives, so a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator is a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
Well, it's been an exciting sequence to watch. And Connor going to pick up a Cardinals first down as he's up to the 40-yard line. They'll drop to throw. He'll get this to Connor underneath. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
On first down, it's Benson. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
2nd and 4. That's complete to McBride. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 34-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. The front office all smiles when the ink went dry on this new contract.
Not only them, how about the coaching staff? Because oftentimes the front office and the coaching staff may have different opinions about the value of a player. I think everyone was in sync on this one. He's a guy that they needed to keep.
They run over center with Benson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Well, still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
Back to throw now on first down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And the Cardinals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Tyler Algier, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cards have moved out in front. Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. They go to the big man. Second time he gets it done.
Almost as if they were feeling like he was establishing a rhythm. Give it to him again and again, and how about the end result? Finishes it off in the end zone.
Touchdown, great run, and the score. Point after, right down the middle, and it's now 17-14. The Cardinals setting out to kick this one away, and off we go. This taken in at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And he's got Smith and Jigba. And he's going to be wrangled down quickly after the catch up at the 45-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Darnold on first down. A quick throw there is incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now this incomplete, and I don't see any flags coming out. He was clearly in the pocket, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, and that brings up fourth down. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A give up the middle with Benson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Here's a 2nd and 8. Another run here with Benson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That one a first down pickup of 8.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Algier. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Second and 6. Dancing to his left. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he fights his way in, not giving up, and it's a Cardinal touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Cardinals go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now to kick this one away, and off we go. I couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll start on the ground with Charbonnet. And he'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8. Darnold from the gun. He'll get this complete to the tight end Barner. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now run by Charbonnet. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
If it's not one guy, it's another with this defense. I mean, this is the #1 unit against the rush in the entire NFL. They know how to cover for each other. And, yeah, they've got great players. They also have very dependable players, too.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Darnold. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here is 3rd and 5. Darnold now to throw. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down now, but the clock continues to move. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
To the air again, Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it as he gets wiped out on that one. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They begin on the ground here with Conner. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And they'll be stopped at the 28 on a play that started at the 14. They pick up 14. 69 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Quick hitter here. It's complete. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Over the middle here to Wilson. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Looking left side, and it's complete. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. A leap, and he's got it. Trey McBride in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cardinals would extend their lead here just before halftime. That is a near-perfect end-of-half drive right there.
And we've seen that many times from the best in the league. But do you really expect to see it done that well by a rookie? And how about the timing? Finishing it almost near the zeros, as you said, right at the end of the half. Great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in week 3 of the new year. We'll get started up at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals who are out in front. Joe Burrow with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head to the Big Apple, more specifically to MetLife Stadium in Jersey to check on the Giants. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. The Dolphins locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. As you can see the score there in the second quarter. Aaron Jones has a touchdown on the ground. We watched the veteran James Conner put together a very solid first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Now 2nd and 5. And Shaheed going to go in motion. A run now with Charbonnet. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Darnold. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now Darnold. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 63 yards receiving for him now. And that last catch good enough for a first down. On the carry, Charbonnet. It's a solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 49 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, it's Charbonnet. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So here are the Cardinals to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They start with a give to Connor. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator. Wouldn't we clip out the box score? Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down. This is Connor running right, and 3 yards there takes him to the 45. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Now back to throw. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3. Going for it. Here's Benson. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Connor up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. To Connor on the check down. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30. 12 yards the pickup. Good enough for an Arizona first.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Right back to him on first down. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Back to throw here. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And, oh, what a catch at the 2. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping.
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, fair to say they've got something here in this rookie running back, and he's in for the 2nd time of the ball game.
And, Brandon, it's a position where there's often a lot of turnover, a lot of competition at that spot. But he's proven to them that he wants to be the bell cow guy that his franchise can rely on.
Extra point forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, here's Rashid Shaheed. And he returns this to the 22. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
2nd down and 6 now from the 26. Back to throw, Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. Darnold. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
No receivers open, so Rue's forced to put that one into Puget Sound. That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers, and ultimately a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
Here's 2nd and 10. Darnold to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals 39. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. He'll drop to throw. And complete to Smith and Jigba. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Here's Darnold. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 24-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Out of the gun, a give to Charbonnet. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Faking the give, Darnold to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Charbonnet will score. Touchdown, Seattle. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And
now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Will go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. James Conner and the Cardinal offense ready to get back to work. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. They run behind center with Conner. They'll get this to about the 38.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd and 7. They'll look to throw. He'll get that one complete to Conner. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the 4th. On 1st and 10 is Conner. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That is caught downfield by Harrison. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 39 yards there, a big one.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
Ready, set.
Connor is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if this defense has any hopes of getting back into this game, they've got to start right here and keep these guys out of the end zone. That's a good step 1 on that pull.
Touchdown, Cardinals. Marvin Harrison Jr., a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Cardinals are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Point after, right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Darnold's throw here hauled in by Cup. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Looking for Cooper Kupp again, 2 in a row. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. And that one on the rookie, Charles, maybe a little too overeager.
You know how many times we talk about the quarterback having to have a clock in his head and make sure the ball gets away before the rush gets there? When you're a pass rusher, you have to know when the ball is gone and make sure you don't hit the quarterback afterward. I know he's trying to make a play, but that time, he ends up drawing the flag.
And 22 more yards there and another first down. Now it's Darnold. Open man is Barner, the tight end. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Second down, here's Charbonnet. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Zach Charbonnet. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Myers connects on the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. So that drive, 4 plays. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field. And we are ready to rock. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Here's Minshew. A short one here, caught by McBride. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
48 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Past the 20. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game, and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. The bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw it, Minshew. And this is incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
He'll look to throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. His first career touchdown pass, and yeah, it's cliche to say, but he's probably been envisioning this since he was a little kid. That's a cool moment.
It really is. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, celebrate, save the full reflection for later, but make sure you grab someone on the sidelines and say, hey, make sure I get that football, okay?
The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Darnold, open man left side. Shaheed has it. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Looking to throw. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Baron Browning able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal 1st down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
High throw, but he makes the catch. And they'll get this down to the 10. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a 1st down. Here comes Benson on the toss right. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now 2nd and 9 from the 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4. Still 3 yards short. 4th down. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already.
Mike 13. He's coming. Check in.
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a 1st down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Gets this complete to Shaheed. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle and complete to Shaheed. And he's brought down. Through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
They're going to look to throw. He'll get that to Charbonnet. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
Mike 17. We got to get the ball. Get the ball right here. Let's go. Mike 17. Here we go,
On 2nd down, Darnold. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Throwing again is Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Cardinals, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Seattle, so long, everybody.